all you gotta do to get some good cable, man. But anyways.
Hi there, I'm Tidy Reeds, and I'm the host of Football Meets Fashion.
I'm Ron, and I'm the current team head coach at JVW Football Club.
So basically, Ron's going to be indulging with us and informing us about his perspective of football. Let's learn and interrupt if you want to. Ciao.
As a former footballer, I want to touch on your experience, dive into your story, and then we can get on to what we need to discuss. But firstly, I'd like for you to tell us your story.
As a youth footballer, I started playing organized football at Corinthians FC in Bedford View. From under 10, coached by Pari and Nicholas Pombulas. I then went on to Wanderers in 2013, currently under 12, under Craig Rose. So we had 20 players come to the club, and they did some sort of pre-academy structure, if I can put it that way. So we were part of that in the structure. It was good. I don't know if you know Craig Rosely, but he's now the technical director at Cape Town City. Okay. From Pirates, he came to Aces, didn't stay for long. Then he established that pre-academy structure and left for Amazon to be a head coach there, and Cape Town City now. So then post that, I went to Wanderers Football Club, which is now St. Warriors. I stayed for 1 season, then came back to Corinthians, under 14, under 20 years. It's good experience. I think that was an eye-opener for me. The under 14 role, that's where I think football was there. 20 years old, was a great guy, great coach, full of knowledge, and I was committed to right back from central midfield. And that's where I stayed for the rest of my time. I still play there now. Then post that I played academy, the Aces Academy under 15 under Mitch Stevens. The following year, I didn't make the academy, so it was 17. Then we used to have 2 teams. Then I got dropped from the 17 and went to 16, and that's where things went south because I had a bad experience there. The team was just from the coach, the players as well. There was no cohesion in the room. It was not organized for me, put it that way. Then I dropped football from it. We came organized football and I dropped into coaching because I had error. So that's my experience.
Okay, so you mentioned you had a good relation with certain coaches, and you mentioned one particular coach that you didn't really have the best time with. Is it sometimes is it the coach or is it players?
I think it goes both ways. Well, as a coach, I think when you get into a job or get a team, the first thing you must do is set standards. Have values that are going to get a team principles and all of that. Non-negotiable. Once you start and you get some things like bad behavior, late coming, all of that, it's difficult to manage when the season goes well. So that's from the coach's side. When you start set values, set non-negotiable standards, and put them high, manage it, be strict, be strict and open as well, so that you are comfortable around it. But set the standard, set the tone, so that you don't lose it. You can try and manage it when it's already out of hand. Now from the players, you need to make the coach out. Because when you've done that as a coach and say, this is what I expect from you, this is what you can expect from me, then that fixes everything. Then players will buy into your values, get buy-in, then live according to your standards and rules. But then if you don't have that, it's everyone for themselves. Then for the players, if you're the player, when you get out of your home, get your good bag, and you go to training just to disrupt the training session.
You had a lot of those.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot.
So you're doing nothing because you spend let's say if the 20 minutes drill, and then you have around 5 minutes ball rolling time.
Yeah.
Because the other 15 is just disrupting or the coach is intervening to intervene coaching points. But when you spend 15 minutes standing, talking, trying to discipline players, then the ball only moves for 5 minutes. And then what are you doing?
And then do you think also it's lack of education?
In what sense?
Like, we don't understand as young footballers, we don't understand what we have, the opportunity that we have. Do you think the education there is slightly lacks?
I think some of it might come from there. Because just take it for granted, but maybe we don't really, I think maybe because we come from different backgrounds, it then affects how we view it.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone might see it as a breakthrough because at school they're intelligent or something. They come from a previous background.
Yeah.
Then they want to make it through football. That's what they do. And someone who's just playing soccer because it's a sport that he's playing, or she's playing in high school, they won't have the same great determination towards the game.
But I guess that's why we have academies.
It's a people like you don't really want to play. So really, education.
Because I feel, what you're talking about, the thing is with our academies, it's mainly skill. It has nothing to do with character. It has nothing to do with personal development. It's mainly skill. That's what we judge our academies on. It's mainly skill. But what you're saying is, you could have different characters and it could mess up a team.
Yeah.
It could mess up a team, whereas you had serious players and you had players that were just playing for fun. You find the players that were just playing for fun were extremely good. And then the other passionate players, they were good, but like those other players were like extremely good. And then because they're extremely good, we put everything aside and we try to nurse them in order to get the team to win. But essentially, their mentality is what makes the team lose. Yeah. I think we don't focus on those little fundamentals. Because I watch clubs like Clairefontaine, the best academy in the world. Guys, it's not, I don't care if he says Chelsea or if it's Man United. I'm telling you now, study Clairefontaine. It's the best football academy in the world. But Clairefontaine, for me, is perfect because it manages personality. You can come from anywhere in France.
Yeah.
You can have a different character. You could be poor, you could be rich, you could be academic, or not. But somehow they manage to get the best out of their players because they have one rule and everybody abides by that. And I think that's what we lacked. We had quality coaches that could focus on our skills, right? Our skills. But that wasn't all to a player and to a team. You can't just focus on just skills. Yeah, you need to focus on a lot of things. That's why the stat is ridiculous. How most academy players don't make it in football because of that same mindset. With us, it's slightly different because with us, it's more of there's politics to that with us, But in terms of like in Europe, like majority of the academy players don't make it because of that personality thing. Plays a huge role. But with us, I feel like we should work a lot more on our characters instead of just the skill. Because there were so many players that were like better than Trent, But Trent was still outstanding, but Trent had that extra thing because of his mentality. When you hear Klopp talking about Trent, you understand that it was more than just his skill. There was Woodburn. Woodburn was a better right mid player than Trent was, but like the results, you know what I mean? So I think that's what we focus on a lot. And as a player grows, as they mature, they don't. A player like that, when they mature, they actually don't improve. These mediocre players surpass them, and that's something I've noticed a lot in South Africa. That's my take on like academies.
I think it's subjective as well.
Mm-hmm.
And some academies do actually have a holistic view to development.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you need buy-in from every coach. So if an academy has a philosophy and they promote holistic development, tactical, technical, physical, psychological, but then you as a coach of a certain age group might want to do things only.
Yeah.
So then I think that's where the problem comes. When you need to get buy-in from everyone in the system so that you can do the same thing. There's no point in an under 13 coach doing things the club's way. There's that philosophy, but then you get an under 19 coach who's just there for the guys or I don't know the personal development of that.
Yeah.
So I think my take is that you need buy-in from everyone in the system for it to actually work. So if you have one coach who is actually doing the taking care of them, then it doesn't make sense. It never works. But then it goes back to it's a normal thing in South Africa, I think. Because
That's too much.
But most change bamna. Then kila it's a couple of then what? Next mama
That bothers me.
But then what?
That part bothers me a lot, funny enough, is that, like, if we're being honest, the most talented South African footballers aren't playing football. If I'm being honest, the most talented of talent aren't playing football. Like, that's the honest truth. And I understand other players. I understand a lot of players' backgrounds and stuff. Like, our organized football sometimes can kind of. There's always. Everywhere there's politics, but with us, it's just too much. It's just too much. It's just too much. But, like, there's so much talent in South Africa. The fact that go hostel, a ground, that bothers me. Because there's so much talent that came from that part of Alex. Like,
what was the idea behind that?
I have no clue. That's for ANC. But yeah.
The housing project of some sort.
Yeah. But like there's so much. That's like I remember last weekend we touched on like what's this, on the importance of a player playing in Kasi, for example.
Yeah.
You know, we touched upon the importance of a player playing organized football and playing street football, because there's three classes in South Africa. There's the lower class, the middle class, and there's obviously the powerhouse, the rich people, right? But let's touch on again about the importance of these three sectors, because I think these things are fundamental. I think these things are really, really fundamental.
I would say from a player's perspective, before my SAFA, you could play anywhere.
Yeah.
You could have cards with 3 different teams you play. You know, and it's an eye opener because playing, let's say, in a village, level gambling, playing for I don't know 1,000 or something, playing league, Mokasi, playing GDL with aces, opens you up to the different levels or sectors in football and say, okay, higher football is so. Higher when you get there, one ball, 20 people, one week as a ball, Mokrame Bagani balancing the 2 teams that they train. That's that football.
Yeah.
That's how they go we train. Moka, I see they were qualified for people and some coaches not as informed. But in the football, the cast is different.
Yeah.
I think I see it's more player centered I would say not textbook football. They allow a lot of improvisation, creativity, but then still sticking to principles of football.
Yeah.
And when I went to ACs and played ACs, it was
organized.
principles,
Yeah.
principles. But it depends on who's coaching you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it depends on who's coaching you.
Mm-hmm.
But then that made me understand that this football thing is too broad.
Yeah.
A player from, let's say, Ramlevo, a player from Alexander, a player from Bedford View who plays for AC, three different players.
Yeah, three. And characters as well.
Three different. So then what does that mean for our football? To those three players have the same opportunity. If kids are Madaks and some guy in the village, I'm a coach.
Yeah.
No qualification whatsoever, and I'm coaching. One disadvantage.
Yeah.
And actually, that thing is a criminal offense.
Yeah.
It's more like a teacher who don't qualify to teach when I was school.
Yeah.
So when as a coach, you need qualified coaches. Not people that are just gonna come.
Just
They watch EPL and think they know football.
Yeah, football is more than Premier League, guys.
People Chiefs then.
Yeah.
It's not ball, no, don't look like this. But then it's a bit nice player ball. Kids are every day, a 5.
Yeah.
Then what are you teaching? So I think most part of it is advantage exposure. Because a kid who's in a proper academy, in the sense that when you qualify coaches that have knowledge the game and can help them become better players. Compared to someone who's just being coached by Brajoni. It can be. Sure.
Yeah.
But the cheaters is simply more talented. We say, let's say, easy expected because that's why I play. We just Sundowns or struggling.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you get, let's say, kids from the villages, let's say when you in the ACT, because Batoma they don't do drills.
Yeah.
They study like drill, comprehension first. Then in a drill we have 20 balls. They never point me that because he's not used to 20 balls at the same time. He's one ball.
Yeah.
Then we feel like our coach, not coach, they were never exposed to
what
that set up.
Yeah.
You understand? So those are things you must look at for what does it do to a player? One ball 20 players is not football for me.
It's not.
It's not football.
But when it comes to training scenario,
it's not.
It's not.
What are you teaching with one ball? Even if there's I'm going to teach them set one. If we 25,
the intensity
ball
is not.
Yeah. Then what? In a small space, I can take up in the sort of ball. Or in the washing session, I've touched the ball for approximately, let's say, 6 minutes. Then it's not football.
It's not.
It's not.
And it's difficult. It's really difficult. But that's why the importance of having all three parts is key.
Yeah.
It's key because one part won't give you all of that.
No.
It won't. They can try and cater, but it won't. The experience is not the same. That's why the ability to play in different teams kind of helps.
You need to adapt as a player.
As a player, exactly. You need to adapt to situations because there's a in organized football. What I see especially is like with especially academy football, right? So much quality, but you're programmed to play a certain style of football. And now life out of the academy is different.
Yeah.
Most academy players fail to adjust to those situations, you know what I mean? You step out now, you go into the SAB, ABC, NFB, you know, it's slightly different because not every football club in South Africa has proper facilities and resources and stuff like that, you know, and you're only at ACES for like a short for a short time
Yeah.
because there is no aces anymore.
Yeah.
So now you need to branch out, and it's hard going to a different team. The field is not the same anymore. It's hard for you to adapt to that situation, and you fail.
Yeah.
You fail. You fail. So that's why the importance of playing kokasi, street football, and organized football. You know, it's very important because, I mean, like I always say, Brazilians, guys, those guys were Brazilians. South Africans are Brazilians. We're all the same. Neymar said it, guys. Brazilians are African. You know, they get sauce from here, but Brazilians are just they have African flair and westernized football, and they just bring that together, and they've got so much quality. They've got so much quality. I think that's why I say all three sectors play a huge role in the play, because you can get a quality player and ask them where they've played. They'll tell you they've played in all three areas, and that's why they're quality. They played. You don't just get random quality from just Bedford unless they're extremely talented.
Sure.
They must have had an experience, you know, indoor soccer, which kind of is street football, you know, just to, you know, like, you get players like that, you know what I mean? But I think it's important. I think it's important.
No, it is. Even I think street football is what we like nowadays.
Yeah.
Things are going to more coach centered, not player centered. We get coaches making decisions for players, which is not football.
Yeah.
So
Freedom.
we need to gauge game intelligence. I need to see how a player plays first, so that I can check if they are ability. If I'm giving you information, instructions all the time as a player, how do I make you intelligent? How do I make you interact at that time? But in street football, because there's no coach there, it's you.
You have to figure it out yourself.
Decision making. You learn it from there. So maybe such street football, just play and no coaching.
Yeah.
But we can the Dutch have something called a Dutch football. It's for people, no coaching, no rules,
Yeah.
just play. That's a modified form of street football.
Yeah. I was gonna touch on the Cruyff loves the idea.
Dutch football.
That's why he likes Tuchel, because they touch on the more resources we have and facilities we have, the lack of players we get.
Yeah.
Like, because Cruyff spoke about short players and street football. Short players don't get taught how to adapt, how to be strong, how to have ball control. They learn it on the street. Because they're so small, they have to be on their feet. They can't afford to fall. They can't afford to take the ball in the sky because there's taller players. So they try and keep the ball. And that's why they never really fall. They're very tricky, they have control, because street football, he said the one thing everyone knows with street football is you can't fall or you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
So you learn these things on the street, not on the pitch. Now imagine getting taught this on the pitch. It's not really gonna work. It's not really gonna work. But like, these things are quite key.
We should go back to that. Encourage more street football.
Yeah.
Or even if it's organized, but then more of a street football approach. Even if it's organized, but at times just let the players play.
Yeah. Like France. Like France is the perfect example. For me, France is a perfect example for football, because there's a lot of street footballers in France. A lot of French players that are booming now, they're street footballers, guys. Those people are from the streets. They're from the streets. And it's important. They might not... The thing is, it's culture. You have to have street football. Brazil, you need to have street football. You know, whenever they go on holiday, they go to those indoor courts, you know, like without the grass. No, they don't need the grass. Like just concrete, and just have that experience again. Because when you have a solid ball on concrete, you need to control that ball.
Yeah.
Now you're learning control. You know, you need to adapt to first touch. The ball's always bouncing. When it goes up in the sky, you know, it's hard for it to stay down. You need to learn first touch, control, pace of the game. These things are fundamental. Like if we can look at France and Brazil a lot, look into more of that kind of football, I think we'll get things right. But yet again, it's more than just football. You know, there's things such as financial situations that are big thing in South Africa. Big disadvantage. One of the reasons why a lot of footballers quit, because it is expensive to play football in South Africa if you don't know anyone. It's the truth. It's the truth. You're literally like paying for varsity. In a way.
Well, it depends what environment you're in.
Yeah.
Because for some environments it's free, but then I think getting in is also competitive. But no one wakes up and goes to a Sundowns team. No one wakes up and goes to Pirates.
Yeah.
So
those two ones you mentioned there, yeah. Chiefs you have Chiefs you can. But Chiefs, you're most likely to get into Chiefs than Pirates and Sundowns.
is it?
I think. How many players do you know that go in and out of Chiefs? A lot.
Yeah.
Whereas Pirates, it's not easy. It is not easy. It's rare to find a Pirates player.
I think the difference is in the scouting program also. Yeah.
And you're speaking of Pirates. What is your take on the PSL's approach with the age difference in terms of old players and young players? Do you think there's enough youth in the PSL, or do you think?
No, not really. But then that's the nature of our football. In South Africa,
But why?
it's a difficult door to break into, no respect. Hence, we must then teach kids and tertiary what they're doing. So, yes, look at football, but then have backup. Let's say, if this doesn't work out,
What next?
I'm gonna flip up on something else, because if we're being honest, majority of the players are average is 27 to 29. Most break into at 25. We will see teams like Ipswich City now. We had 3 NPC players in there. Game against Palace 2 weeks back. We had Stellenbosch as well. Chiefs is also. It's getting better, but the reality is coaches prefer older and experienced players than the youth players. If you're being honest.
Yeah.
Because the notion is if you're not being tied to the experience. Which is true to some extent, but
It's true, but I don't see teams winning titles except for one team.
well now.
So that's has
Do they have youth players in that squad? Or do they get best players in the country with it?
yeah.
Yeah, so
But it's a formula. I don't blame them. Honestly, I don't blame them. You could say the same thing about Chelsea.
yes, I'm saying
Oh,
what
Madrid.
you want to prioritize the team. There's no wrong or right, but I mean they had this Makena guy coming 16-year-old, 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, Asanta.
Wasn't that?
Yeah, that was
But
fun.
I couldn't already. We have one team that is winning.
Yeah.
On the Kereke, and then how many players do they have in their squad?
But I get that. They don't have. They don't have. But like, okay, I'm competing with you, right?
Mm.
Clearly, my formula can't be. Let's say, for example, my team is Amazon.
Mm.
I can't compete. Let say, I can't. So what do I? So I can't then get his formula. You know, I can't play like Sundowns and go purchasing players and whatnot, right? That's one. Secondly, I have too many experienced players, right? And it's been the same for years, and it doesn't work, right? So, okay, why don't we change it around? Keep your best experienced players, eliminate a lot of. I know, guys, it's a job. It's fine, but clearly your job is not being perfected because you're as good as the person that they sacked.
Yeah.
Then bring in these young boys. Let these young boys get a taste, right? Let these young boys they're probably more hungrier than the older players, right? Get them a chance to play with the best experienced players and see how that combination works. My problem is we're so skeptical. We don't risk. We don't make not risk, but we don't take calculated risks. You know what I mean? Mix up the two. Yes, you don't want to play just young players. You don't want to do that. You need the experience. So play both experience and youth. It doesn't have to be half youth, half experience. You can have more experienced players, but play youth players as well. But they need to play. Youth players need to play. I don't like Chiefs. Me, I don't like Chiefs, me. Nyama ngenkani. I love Pirates, you know what I mean? I love Pirates. But I actually watch more Chiefs than I do my own team.
Yeah.
Solely because I'm watching young players. Do you know how nice that is? I'm not even watching the league or the teams. I'm merely watching the youth. That's what's nice. That
It's
people
nice,
are watching.
but
It works, but it works for who? I mean, is it working for Chief?
we don't know. I don't know. But
Okay.
it's subjective. This youth thing is subjective. And because we might say that this is for now Pirates doesn't really have youth there. Not only doing now, but in the second row,
Yeah.
where's Chiefs? It's one of those things where you say, what do you prioritize as a team? What do you want as a team? But at the same time, for fans just look at things and want it to be run there, but this thing is business.
It's business.
And if it's my business, I'm running it how I see fit
Yeah.
and how I want. Fans will always complain. As a supporters, and
We'll always complain.
we'll always say, but what you guys, everyone, hey, but at what cost?
Well, clearly Ron and I had a lot to say, but yeah. We'll see you guys on in the second half, I guess. Yeah. Ciao.